You know those words, they hurt me. You'd found out what made me angry, then use it to your ability. Now you're trying to avoid me. You're the big problem here, a bully to many for so many years. Now shut your mouth, close your ears. Never learned your lesson and nobody cares. That's what you're here for, here to make me miserable. I know you get joy out of it. You hurt me but call me the same names again. You know I never liked them, and that's so unforgivable. I know you ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again. You ruined my childhood. You hurt me and do it all over again.
Everyone, this is Fantasy Ask and welcome back to the Sims 4 Royal Witch Kingdoms. Today we are continuing with the noble family of Ramong after the noble consummation of Lord Valarr and Lady Archrose, a High Lord Valarr. Now, things took a sad turn at the end of the previous episode because unexpectedly, the day after their wedding, Kylo, Valarr's younger brother, died. He was poisoned, and I have decided after that poisoning that from now on in my Sims game, just across everything generally, anytime a Sim dies from hunger or starvation, I'm gonna say they were poisoned. Like, that is just my translation of it. They were poisoned. And it makes sense because we do have like these different kingdoms, there's politics at play, so it kind of makes sense that being involved in any sort of royal or noble life is going to be dangerous, right? And that's why you want to be careful of the enemies you make, the friends you make, all of those kind of things. So I kind of like the fact that we're starting to have poisonings. I mean, even though it is quite tragic, but in the first season, it really wasn't something we had a lot of until the game did this weird update, and then everyone just, like, it stopped notifying us that people were getting hungry, and they didn't do anything to get themselves food because they didn't know they were hungry. So since it's been happening quite frequently, I'm thinking, you know what, it's gotta be poisonings are afoot in the world across like every series I have. So I think I'll add a bit of excitement to everything that way. Unnatural causes of death. Anyways, so let's discuss really quickly what happened in the movie. And there are a few things that I hope I remember to talk about, because I feel like I had some things in the previous episode and then I got so excited and I was on a roll that I forgot what I was going to talk about. Anyways, in the movie, what happened? So these guys, they mourned Kylo, even though it wasn't for that long. We made this resting place for him back here, and actually we changed a few things in this like tool shed. We kind of put a door in through there, took out the windows, and this area is now kind of the family resting place. Not necessarily a cemetery, but you know, yeah, this or the graveyard, because they aren't burying anyone, but it is the family's resting place. So we added Master Kylo Rowan's urn over here. So it says second born son of House Rowan, because you know he was never married off, poor little one. So he's gonna be there, and we can mourn him whenever we want. And then I moved all the garden plots out front, because why the heck not? So there we go, we had that done. And basically Valarr was quite, I mean, obviously they were both distraught, even though Archrose only got to know Kylo for a very, very short amount of time. They're both distraught that he died, and I think Valarr took it very hard because he just became High Lord, and the safety, obviously, of his family members is a huge responsibility, and he feels as though he has failed at that. So Archrose was trying to comfort him by saying, you know, it's not your fault. But Valarr said, no, it is. This is what happens when you offend a titular family, when you offend a royal family, or a member of the royal family. And I think he kind of got the idea that Elrond, you know, was not happy with things, and they all know the reputation of the previous Sicam monarchs. So I think for him, it's a no-brainer that they don't know for sure, but he's confident either Elrond poisoned his brother or High Queen Fëanor poisoned his brother. And really, if that is the case, there's nothing he can do about it, but he knows it was a warning. It was a warning received, and he definitely wants to protect Archrose and the future family he's going to have with her from that kind of danger. So he's going to try and behave himself more in court and keep a distance from High Queen Nimue, because, you know, I don't think they want something like this to happen again. So that was a bit of a scare they got. And then Archrose was quite patient with him and willing to wait until after mourning period before they consummated their marriage. But Valarr said, no, my little Varro said not to keep the bride waiting. And if you guys remember in the previous episode, obviously we didn't know this back then, but in the previous episode, that was one of the last things that Kylo said to Valarr in the movie. He said, best not to keep the bride waiting in that same room, so that breaks my heart. But there we go. They went ahead, consummated the marriage. So now hopefully we're going to have a little baby on the way, but we don't know for sure. Archrose hasn't shown any signs yet, but we haven't gotten any notification that she did not conceive. I think they woohooed around 9 p.m., so usually it's a 24-hour period to see if it has succeeded or not. But by 10 p.m. tonight, we should be quite clear on whether or not we're going to get a little one from them. So fingers crossed. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about... Oh yeah, and I mean, this is very sad because it's actually Valarr's birthday. It is Valarr's birthday. And it is like the day after his brother has passed away that he's having his birthday. So that is just... The timing of things is crazy. And actually, guys, I think Archrose might be pregnant because at the end of the previous episode, I checked the calendar, and Valarr's birthday is today. Archrose's birthday is supposed to be tomorrow. Like, it's supposed to be on Wednesday, but it just got shifted over And usually they don't age when they're pregnant, so I'm thinking that she is pregnant, and that's why it's moved over her birthday till a bit later, so that we have that time to get the confirmation. Interesting. Well, anyways, he's having his birthday, and on that note, in the previous episode, I did want to touch on the age gap, but I forgot about it completely in all the drama that was happening. Now, there is an 8-year difference between Valarr and Archrose. And I like this little bit of detail because I find it fun, right? I find it fun to kind of see, just as an extra thing at the back of your mind, at least in the second generation, how far apart they are. And the way I've basically numbered the ages, because we don't keep that strict of a track, I've basically kind of like simplified it down to every birth that happens, I imagine, is 1 year apart. So I have a note of like when they were born, so I can basically minus their ages and figure out, okay, they're this many births apart, aka they're this many years apart. So Valarr is 8 years older than Archrose. So with the previous couple we had, and I don't know if we've discussed ages between all the Sims. I don't think we have, actually. I don't think we've discussed ages all the Sims. At least we didn't in the previous generation when they got married. But definitely from this, like in the previous season. But in this season, I will be going through each couple and letting you guys know how many years apart they are. So, I mean, for some of them, it might not be as clear. Especially because, like I said, with Kylo dying, we actually have 3 female spares. Like, if someone's wife died, we actually have 3 female spares that could be married in. But we don't have any males that could be married in right now. So, for the one female heir that currently doesn't have a partner, we're going to have to get new blood. And now that we've established all our royal families and noble families, I'm imagining that any new blood that comes in is going to be a commoner. There's going to be common blood that's married into nobility. So when it's a new Sim from the gallery that's married into nobility, then their age is going to be unclear. They're probably not going to know how many years apart they are. So yeah, there is that. So that's going to be ambiguous age gap between them, but oh well. I think it's fine. I think it is fine. Now, what else was I going to talk about? Yeah, like with the High Queen Nimue and King Elrond, High Queen Nimue is 15 years older than Elrond. In this situation, Valarr is 8 years older than Archrose. In case you guys were interested. Okay, so we have that done. And slowly I'm kind of going down the things that I had noted in my head. The other thing, this was something I noticed in the previous episode, and I was supposed to talk about it, but then we moved on to something else. But there was a portion of the wedding celebrations with the guests in the house where Archrose and Valarr, on their own accord, came into the children's room here, and they sat for a bit, I think, or they chatted for a bit here and were being intimate. And I found that so sweet because in my mind, that was Archrose and Valarr thinking about the future of their family and thinking about producing an heir. Like they were already onto that, already had that in their mind, that this is something we want to do, we want to expand the family. So they were spending time in this room, and I thought that was so sweet. So yeah, that is hopefully something that is going to be in the cards for us. And also, now that they have consummated the marriage, they can change out of their wedding attire, and this is Archrose's new noble lady attire, which Meralda is wearing different colors of this, but she also has the, she's got the same garment on, which in this new generation is the way that the Ramong ladies like to dress. Now, a lot of I think across the kingdoms, the male outfits I've largely kept the same. It's the female outfits that I've changed across royalty, and then, oh, look at that, she gagged. I think she's pregnant, guys. I think we have good news with Archrose, and I'm so excited. Especially because her family is known for the triplets they had. So I'm thinking they're going to be like super duper fertile. And a blue baby or a purple baby, I mean, that is going to be just so cute. And I know some of you are saying that a way I could probably help with getting them the want to try for a baby is actually giving these guys the aspiration for a big family, and that apparently encourages those wants. And I'll see how hard it is for them to do it on their own, because I like having different consistencies of that want. I don't want, or like frequencies, I don't want everyone to be really into having a baby. I want it to be different for different sims, which is why I'm not going to do that just yet, but we'll see how things go. In case you guys are wondering though about the spares, the spare females I was talking about, Lyra we've already met, so Princess Lyra, she can be married in, obviously, if someone loses a wife. And then we have Samara Holdigan. She's a spare. She could be married in. And then Samara's sister Veronica is also a spare. That could be married in. And do you know Veronica? I don't think you do, unfortunately. Which I suppose is fine. Which is fine. But yeah, right now, because Archrose is the only one married in, like once everyone gets married, somehow we will have connected all the families and we'll be able to trace family trees by clicking on like this household. We'll be able to go through probably Archrose and then to Meralda or to Daphne, and we'll be connected to other kingdoms. And we'll be able to look through anyone's family tree at one point. For now, though, we're kind of just stuck with these two. Because, like we said, Kylo has recently died, and then Archrose, none of his siblings are married just yet. So there is no connection to trace back currently. Okay. And in case you guys were wondering which sim was going to offer for, where is he? For Kylo's hand in marriage. At first I was going to think, at first I thought I won't reveal it because he died, so we'll never know. But then I realized, wait, I already gave too much information about that. I mean, that heiress is going to have to marry a commoner now, get a commoner married into her family and become nobility. So when we get to that, you guys will know who I'm talking about, so I might as well share it now. Kenzo's older stagda, his older sister, the sickly witch, Miss Calypso, was the one who was going to offer for Master Kylo's hand in marriage. But since Kylo's died, now Calypso, our sickly witch, has to find a commoner to marry into her noble ranks. So, unfortunate, but there is that. Okay, you're going to have to clean this up, and let's not... Wait, how hungry are you? Okay, she's kind of hungry, but it's okay. We can do some cooking. Clean this as well. Just clean everything. That's gonna go bad soon anyways. Let's do some cooking. And I think I'm sick, guys, because my nose is like stuffy. And that's not fun. Gonna be honest, that is not fun. I don't know if it's changing my voice. I feel like maybe it's changing my voice a little bit as well. Let's make some Yorkshire pudding. We'll do that. I never know whether to say Yorkshire or Yorkshire. Anyways, we'll do that, and then we'll make some rice cake. Let's make a good spread of food to eat and feed ourselves. We'll do that. We will do that. Come on. We don't want to clean this up. I'll just throw that in the sink. If the sink breaks, then oopsie doopsies. Nope, it's fine for now. Valarr has been quite nice. Like, he's actually been helping out with the coop at the back and feeding the chickens and conversing with them. And that's quite sweet because I think he understands that Archrose is kind of having a difficult time adjusting, and he really doesn't want to stress her out, and he wants to provide as best as he can for her. So while she's doing the repairing and the cooking, look at that, guys, look at this, she's definitely pregnant. She definitely is. But while she's doing that and trying to take care of things inside the house, I think he's helping her with things outside just a little bit. Okay, well, you know what? I also kind of want... I do want them... I might get rid of this and just have, like, plots. Oh, I might keep this for plants they have. But that's another thing I imagine with the Ramong. So, like, with the Ramong family, I kind of like the idea that they are... Oh, no, I mean, these guys are the wrong ones, but, you know, the Ramong kingdom. I like the idea that they deal with or they grow all these harvestables, whether it's for food purposes or if it's for like magical ingredients. They grow all these things, and then I kind of like the idea that maybe they're the one people go to when they're looking for rare seeds and stuff, rare food items, or when they require ingredients for potions, like plant-wise, they come to these guys. So I kind of like that, and I want to get them more into it, but that will require them to practice. I mean, he doesn't, look at this, he's got nothing, but they need this one. They need the Floralorial. That is so hard to say. Or maybe it's Herbio. They need one of those, or maybe they need both of those, in order to be able to magic those things. So I actually want to start focusing a little bit more on that with these Ramong witch families. Definitely want them to have some of that. And with his like thieving trait, I don't know if it counts. If he might not count like swiping seeds and stuff from other families, but look, Meralda's coming to visit. This is quite nice. I've noticed that Meralda visits quite often. Ever since they got married, she's been dropping in like every day, which is very, very sweet of her. Oh my goodness, honey, eat, please. Okay, there we go. She's gonna have some rice cake. Thank goodness. Seriously, feed yourself. I swear, I feel like because the hunger thing is a bit broken, I imagine that they half the time don't even know they're hungry or that they're on the brink of death. They just don't. But yes, we are all on the same page now. From now on, anytime someone dies of starvation, we're just going to say they died of poisoning. And then it's our job to figure out who poisoned them. I think that will make things quite fun and exciting. And actually, plenty of opportunity then to bring in new blood. Because, you know, sad as it is, if Kylo hadn't died, then we wouldn't have had new blood. Also, I feel like sometimes... Okay, Daphne's calling. Nope, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that commoner is. But, yeah, I feel like sometimes I say things, and when I'm actually saying it, I can hear everything I'm saying. But then when I'm listening back to the recording of myself, I can only hear half of what I said, or it feels like I ate some of my words, or it feels like I didn't say a sentence properly and it's like missing words and I'm like, wait, what? What am I even trying to say? But I don't know. I guess sometimes I pronounce some things in a way that you can't even tell the word I'm saying, which is so odd. But 'tis a thing that I do. I just noticed because I was listening to one of the past recordings, I think of this series, and I was like, wait, that wasn't even a whole sentence. Why am I talking in half words? But I remember in that moment, I was speaking in full words. And then I was talking to my parents, and I don't know what I was saying, but they were like, wait, what? And I thought I was talking clearly, but apparently I wasn't, because they couldn't hear me, even though I could hear me. So, odd thing that I noticed, but I did. I did indeed. Okay, well, now that they have been adjusting a little bit with life at home, I think it's probably a good idea to get some social activity in. Actually, I kind of want her to practice her magic as well. So can we do that? Can we get her to practice some practical magic? Like, I don't know if she's gotten much done at all. Well, she knows more than Valarr, which is ridiculous. He's the High Lord of the house. He really should have more practice. Come on, let's do some practicing, because like I really want you to have that Herbio and the Floralorial. That's so hard to say. I want you to have those two spells so that you can fill up your garden with all these cool things that you might be able to use to trade with the other kingdoms for. It's like maybe you require 10 harvestables to purchase a particular potion. Like that, I could imagine that being a thing. Or maybe you need those specific, depending, like if there's ingredients required, plant ingredients required within a potion, maybe you have to give like a certain amount of those ingredients to be able to acquire that potion. So maybe 10 of those ingredients. If something requires Valerian root to make and you want to purchase that, maybe you need to trade 10 Valerian roots for one potion. Something like that. I haven't worked it. Oh my goodness, she's eating for 2. We were right! Yay! I'm so excited. She is eating for 2, guys. Look at this. Lady Archrose is expecting there's going to be a new addition to this household. Oh, that is precious. That is precious. Now, he's got yellow eyes, I'm fairly sure. But with our witches, the yellow eyes definitely look kind of interesting. They're not completely yellow. The yellow in the middle, green on the inside, and then have a red ring. So yeah, the yellow eyes are definitely more complicated. And then she's got I think the light blue eyes. Yeah, I think she's got light blue eyes. But the light blue eyes, again, not straightforward in the witches. It's light blue in the middle, dark blue in the center, and then green with a green ring. Green on the outside. So, I guess their babies either can have... I love it! We have a good mix of genes with them. So the baby could have brown hair from Valarr, or dark brown hair from Archrose, purple skin from Valarr, turquoise skin from Archrose, yellow eyes from Valarr, or light blue eyes from Archrose. How pretty. That's just so pretty. So, so pretty. But I'm excited. Her birthday, has been bumped off, and I'll probably continue being bumped off until she has this little one. And let's see, so it's Tuesday today, and we're on the 1st, so probably 3 days from now, I think. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So yeah, she's probably gonna have this baby on Friday. So she'll go into 2nd trimester on Wednesday night, 3rd trimester on Thursday night, and then most likely have the baby on Friday night. Okay, well, there we go. So this is going to be our first little one in this season. If you guys are wondering about the generation, it is not the first baby in this generation, like the new one, the 3rd generation. At the end of the previous season, season 1, we actually had 2 babies born, and then 1 was born off camera. So there is that. This will be the 4th baby. But it's the 1st in the season, but the 4th in its generation. So okay, it is quite late. Why don't we let them go off to sleep, and then tomorrow maybe we can see if we can help them out with their social life. Whoever these guys want to talk with and chat with, we'll focus on that. It's almost 9 a.m. the following morning. I did say we were going to do social calls today, but I realized we completely forgot about Valarr's birthday, which was yesterday, but somehow got bumped over to today. I don't know if that's a glitch or what, but it's okay. We'll just celebrate his birthday the day after it was supposed to be. So right now, Archrose is baking a chocolate cake so we can have just a quiet transition of Valarr from... I feel like sometimes I call him Valarro. I don't know. He was a Valarro once upon a time. But Valarr, he'll have a quiet transition from young adulthood to adulthood. I guess a reasonable time for him to be having his family as well. I mean, he's got a little bit of a head start, so that's good. But yeah, I think we've discussed this before. Like, for the witches, the ideal thing is to already have children before you become adults, because if you're an adult and you don't have kids, that's scary, because then you're like falling behind in life. Okay, let's put in bed the candles. They're not gonna have a party or anything because they just did have a death in the family, so I feel like that would be kind of inappropriate. He's just gonna make a wish that his child is born nice and healthy, probably, that everything is smooth for Kylo in the afterlife. I think that's what Valarr is going to wish for. Just a simple wish for his birthday. And that's it. And oh my goodness, I think I'm going to sneeze. I think I'm going to sneeze. I mean, things have been tragic, but you know, he's got this new family member. He's got a little one on the way. So, there are good things coming. There are good things coming for sure. And I, you know, seriously hope that going forward he doesn't become, like, I hope he doesn't go the opposite way and become, like, really cowardly and terrified because of his experience with the Tetrala families and then with his brother dying. I hope he picks himself up and is able to rally his family and keep things going well. I mean, he is proud of his history and his family's history, so I feel like that would kind of give him strength to keep everything together, especially now that he has the support of Archrose. I mean, this might have been more tragic if he hadn't been married yet. I feel like it's so nice in the households that have a sibling that can, you know, be there when you get married and help you with settling the Najime or the Stabellum into the family, the new bride or groom into the family, but like their brother-in-law and sister-in-law. But when there's no one and like the heir is the High Lady or the High Lord, they're the only ones in the house, it's kind of sad. Like, their parents are gone, they have no siblings, their wedding is a very lonely affair, and I feel like the adjustment then for their new spouse would be a lot harder as well, because you've got no one else to help you transition, right? So, yeah, interesting, but there is that. There is that for sure. Okay, well, now that you've done this with the cake and such, you enjoy your cake? My phone's buzzing now as well, which I am going to ignore for sure. Okay, good. But yeah, she's a lot hungrier than usual, probably because she's pregnant, but that is fine. And it seems as though they don't really have anyone in their mind they want to visit or speak to. Unfortunately, they've got no one on their mind. They did have a ton of people they wanted to socialize with yesterday, but I don't really see any of that today. Okay, well, we've done the quiet cake cutting affair. I'm thinking maybe we'll kind of let them be for the rest of the day and practice some magic, and unless someone calls them out on a duel or we have some wants to fulfill, I'll just play them off camera. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. It's 8:30 p.m. and Valarr just went to sleep, but someone is at the door. The High King of Holcane is paying him a visit, and that is very odd because he is not acquainted at all with the High King of Holcane, and neither is Archrose. But we are going to welcome him on in. We're going to invite him in, and then we're going to give... Is there a respectful introduction? Yeah, come on. You need to give him a respectful introduction. You can't ask the dude to leave. So we're going to go on down. And the bed's glitching. That is fine. Deal with it. Well, come on. We gotta go down. You have to do a respectful introduction to the flippin' High King of Holcane. Oh my goodness. It is High King Edmund. Oh, she likes handiness. That is so good. That is so good. Because if you guys remember, when Kylo was helping out, he started disliking handiness, and that would have been very, very uncomfortable in the future for him. Like, it would have been part of his job as a spouse. in his new house. But he would have hated it. So it's good to know that she's liking the process. But we're going to go out, we're going to greet High King Edmund and see what the heck's going on. Now, this is kind of what I love about piecing together what's happening in the social life of these Sims and why certain things are taking place. Did you give him, come on, respectful introduction. There we go. There we go. Okay, so if we try and figure out how they're connected, why Edmund might have come. So we just, even though he doesn't really know Edmund at all, and neither does Archrose, we are aware that the killer of Kylo is either King Elrond or High Queen Faina. And even though they might not necessarily be connected to Edmund, Elrond's older sister and Faina's younger sister, so the sister in between them two, Luna, she was married to Edmund's older brother. So she's the widow, she's Edmund's sister-in-law, his Najime, and she was married to Edmund's older brother, the previous heir, right? Who died, unfortunately, not long after they got married. So she has been living under the protection of Edmund, and Edmund, upon ascending the throne, decided that once he is of age, right now he's a teen, once he is a young adult, he will take his Najime as his wife. So he'll take Princess Luna as his wife. And so, if that's a thing, I imagine he is definitely very closely connected to the Sikar family. So maybe he heard about what happened, like what Faina or Elrond would have done. And so Edmund's very different to the Sikars. He is quite benevolent, and he is good and he is kind, right? So look, he's coming here and he's like the only one that has mourned Edmund. I mean, sorry, he's the only one that has mourned Kylo. Like, no one else has mourned him. So I think he would have felt quite sad for Valarr, because I imagine he kind of looks up to the, not looks up, but you know, he respects the House of Rowan, I think, for what they stand for. And so he's probably wanting to come here and offer his condolences and, you know, apologies for the death of Kylo. It is definitely not something anyone can speak about because royals are involved, but I do think, more or less, the people that are connected to the Sikars, they will kind of know what happened, and the Sikars aren't willing to acknowledge anything. They don't want to, and neither is the Ramong family, obviously. But Edmund, he has yet to marry Luna, even though Luna is currently like the ceremonial queen of Holcane. So I think he's not connected to the Rowans at all, in any way, shape, or form. But he heard about what happened, and he feels bad for this innocent, noble family that didn't really do anything, except maybe get misinterpreted by King Elrond. So he's coming here to offer his condolences. So there we go. He's the only one that's actually mourned Kylo apart from the immediate family. Like the guests, you guys might have seen it. I haven't. The guests that came by, I think Meralda came by, but even she didn't really pay much attention to Kylo and such. So yeah, there is that. There is that for sure. And I feel like him coming here, he's probably curious about the wedding customs of Ramong, because it is very different to Holcane. He has a bit to go though before it's his own wedding. He has a bit to go. It's gonna be so odd though. It's gonna be so odd because in the palace we already have a wedding portrait of Vex and Luna, and now Luna has to put on the same wedding attire, and she has to take another wedding portrait with Edmund, Vex's brother. Like, how odd is that? That is so odd. And then Luna does have, so you know how before I was talking about the fact that, oh honey, don't eat that. Don't eat that. I was talking about how this baby here, and I think, is she in a second trimester? She looks so cute. Yep, she looks so cute. I was just saying how this baby is not going to be the firstborn in this generation. It's going to be the 4th baby born, because the other babies were born in the previous season. And actually the first baby of this generation is Edmund's nephew that Vex had with Luna. So he has a nephew by the name of Prince Luther, I think, who is not in line. He is a non-heir. So when Edmund marries Luna, any children they have will be the actual heirs. But he has decided to raise his nephew, and I think he wants to be a good father to his nephew. So there is that. But I was just trying to make sense of this really random visit, and I think that's what's going on. And what's happening? Okay, she's feeling smothered. Finally, after all this time, she was actually handling marriage well, but she's starting to feel quite smothered by everything, and I imagine quite terrified by everything. So it is pretty late, but we're gonna get her. It's like midnight. It is flippin' midnight, but let's make some food. Let's make some food because she's hungry. I think she's got enough. She's got enough hunger to be able to make something. You know what? Spooky cookies. Watermelon salad? I think watermelon salad is okay. Watermelon affects gender in Sims 3, not in Sims 4. I think in Sims 3 it's apples and watermelon. In Sims 4 it's strawberries and carrots. So okay, we'll make some watermelon salad. And don't eat this cake. It's like spoiled. It's like spoiled cake. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And I don't know where she's taking this to be made. Where is she even going? Like, woman, come back down. Make this salad down. I don't know what she's doing. I think she was going up to put down the cake. Which sometimes they do, like, the oddest things like that. Edmund is still mourning. Edmund is just too good of a person. He's too good of a person. Like, he didn't have to come here. He doesn't know this family. They don't know him. But he wanted to make himself known and offer his condolences because he doesn't feel as though what the Sikars did is right. And I think, in all honesty, that probably means a lot to Valarr because they can't really do anything about it. Nobody's going to acknowledge it. But, you know, if the High King of a kingdom acknowledges the death of his brother, his innocent brother, then it kind of gives him a little bit of peace. Like, at least someone in power knows that it was wrong. Okay, there we go. Eat that. Eat that and be happy. Eat that and be... Kylo! Kylo! Kylo's wandering around. Oh, look at Kylo, who's so scared. He didn't expect to die, understandably, and he died. So, obviously... He's a little bit terrified. Oh my goodness! Look at that! He's terrified. He's seeing his brother for the first time as a ghost. Maybe he's freaking out that he's a ghost. Oh no. Oh no, maybe he didn't realize that he had died. He's freaking out. Look, Valar's trying to calm him down. He's like, oh my god, I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. I'm dead? I'm dead? Valarr, I'm dead. And Valar's trying to calm him down like, it's okay, it's okay. Aww. Oh, now he's just sad. Now he's sad, and he's gonna haunt things and make life difficult for his Najime. Kylo, you said you were gonna be tolerable, remember? I suppose that was before he died, though. Now it's just a whole other ball game. Yep, okay, now High King Edmund is going. And actually, I wonder if it's telling that he came at midnight. Like, he came really late at night. Maybe when everyone was asleep, no one was expecting or keeping eyes on him. He made this trip. And oh my goodness, Kylo, you are gonna make your Najime miserable. Seriously. She is just scared as can be. And you shouldn't be scaring her. Like, she's expecting. You shouldn't be giving her a scare like that. Let's send her to bed. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Valarr also needs to go to sleep. Yep. The High King has left, but go Go rest for the night. Let Kylo haunt you guys. Is he still haunting? Let Kylo be Kylo and haunt you guys. Destroy things as he wants. And then get his ghosty angst out. And then his Najime is gonna have to deal with his crap and fix everything up in the morning. My goodness. Oh, man. Oh well, guys. With that said and done, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.